welcome to the Cottage. I'm Babs with Cottage Rogue.
And I'm Cass with Dances with Floss.
And welcome to our Sassy Stitchers quarterly shared WIP parade.
We've done the math, and apparently we share 10 projects.
10.
So, similar to the Sarahs that do Stitching Sarah and Sarah W, we're gonna share our shared projects with all of you.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Editor Babs here, and I just want to explain how this is going to work. We will each show our projects. We'll discuss some of our thought processes about each project, and then after this segment, we'll each do an individual portion of our own projects that are separate from the joint ones. So that way, both videos will be different, so be sure to check us both out.
And this is helping me out a lot this month because poor Tanya has moved.
Oh, yes. She's so busy right now unpacking and everything.
She is exhausted because that was a marathon, a 2-week marathon, and she needed a break.
Yep.
And she has not stitched in that 2 weeks.
Poor thing.
And we said, dear, we have you covered.
Yes,
So
we do.
take care of it.
Yep.
So I put them in order of when we started them.
And of course I did alphabetical order because that's just how I roll, so.
We're very similar,
Yeah.
but different.
Slightly different there.
Just a little skewed different.
And you'll see that in our WIPs too, so for sure.
Yeah, you'll definitely see that in our thought processes.
Yes.
We have very similar taste in projects.
Yes.
I mean, we even going through this realized we have projects queued up to start where we're going to overlap more. So
Exactly.
this is going to continuously be a thing. This is why this is going to be a quarterly. We may see this grow from 10.
Yep.
We don't know.
Well, we're going to start with Forest Friends. This is a TinyModernist. And here's what I have so far. Now, this was one of my first ones where I really, really, really got back into stitching. It was what, last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was last year, and this was my first sell. Mm-hmm. And so I just grabbed whatever fabric that I happen to have, and this is a printed Ada that I found at a shop.
I corrupted her with the good stuff after this.
Which I'm not unhappy about. And I have these top 2 quadrants completed and part of the third as well. And I actually do have a border around this that you can't see because it is white. And yeah, I'm a little bit more careful about that now. But what's special about this is it's glow in the dark. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited to see all the white in here is actually glow in the dark floss. So yay.
My white shows up a little better.
Yeah.
I am stitching on a craft store 32 count Murano because I had it in stash and I wanted to use it, and I thought that the white border would show nicely on it. Mm-hmm. And it does.
It does.
Instead of using glow in the dark floss though, I used Etoile.
So you're shiny.
I'm sparkly. Yeah. Although I was kind of tricky and I did the bottom leg with B5200. Mm-hmm. So that it would be a nice bright white. Mm-hmm. And the top leg only is the Etoile. And it conserves the floss nicely, but it takes twice as long to stitch. Because it's like you're stitching the whole border one time and then doing the whole border a second time. Because you can't just make the X and keep going. I worked on this actually just last night. And I'm just now over 50%. Clearly, awesome. I got way behind in the sal.
Well, I mean, we both did.
I don't do well at sals.
Yeah. They're rough.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
This was my March or February WIP go. Mm-hmm. It was February.
I think this was my January WIP go, but I pulled it back out for spring because I'm looking at what are my spring. I have decided I'm pitching WIP go. I'm done. I can't. I just want to stitch what I want to stitch when I want to stitch it. It keeps me from doing starts that I want to do. No, we're not doing it. So I pulled out some of my spring projects from last year so that I can just make time for them.
Absolutely.
So this was one I felt like working on. And I was thinking about it. like, if I just even did, like, one of these, like, every 2 weeks, I could be done by the end of spring.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if I will, but I might try.
Yeah, I'd like to get this one done, too.
Especially
By summer.
once I'm over 50%, it's a lot easier.
Oh, it is so much. It was so nice doing this third quadrant. Well, still got more to do, but that's all good.
Well, yeah, I completely finished the first quadrant.
Yeah.
That little guy's all done. I just
It
got to do
looks
the back
great.
stitch.
Are you going to do the little fluffers on the end of, like, the tail and stuff? Like, for instance, the porcupine has little spikes on it.
Oh, I will do the spikes and stuff.
And spikes. And
That's
then
back
there's-
stitch, so I just do that when I'm all done.
No, that makes sense. I'm not sure I'm going to do the back stitch on the fox and the rabbit and the skunk because I feel that with the porcupine or the hedgehog, they're the quills.
Yeah,
And
that
it
was
seems
necessary.
It was necessary, and it seems a little odd to have quill-like things on the other three animals. So I think I'm not going to do that.
I'm omitting the little white dots that are
That's
like,
fair.
why?
Yeah.
It's filler.
I'm keeping them because they're glow in the dark.
That makes a little more sense, but I was just like, it's filler. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
Our
that
project.
is Forced Friends. Oh, I like your bag.
Oh, thank you. Ninja Turtles. Right here. Jasmine custom bag.
Which leads us to WIP number 2, where we accidentally showed up with the same bag.
Yeah, we both ordered it. We didn't even discuss it to begin with.
And then also put the same project in it.
Yep. And we showed up to our stitchy group
Yeah.
with the same stuff.
That's how our taste rolls.
Yeah. I love it.
But now here's where we're different. Now, we're both using the Roxy floss conversion for this.
Yes.
And we did both pick a green fabric.
Mm-hmm.
However, mine is kind of neon.
And mine, while still green, is not.
And this is Within a Dream that was just released at Market.
Yes.
And if you need to see a picture of it, I have my iPad.
Oh, perfect.
And I can pull that up. Ha ha.
Well,
Be
you've
with
done
you
worse.
in just a moment.
You've done some work.
I have. I'm at the point where if I wanted to start stitching the Raven, I can.
Awesome.
So we are in her Patreon.
Yeah.
So that's how we got it.
You will see more than one Artsy Housewife pattern. I think we have 4 of them. I counted. That we're doing
Nice.
together. We have plenty more that we're not doing together.
Yeah, I have way more than 4.
Yes.
Way more than 4.
Absolutely.
That's what it looks like. But y'all just saw that at Market. If
Yep.
unless you've been under
Hiding.
a rock or social media blackout.
Oh, yes.
Unless you've been on a social media blackout, which I wouldn't blame you for, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would have seen this.
Yeah.
Because it was all the rage. But yep. We're both using the Roxy Floss conversion.
Yes.
I'm having a little trouble with I think the little moon here is not really showing up. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that.
It shows up pretty well in person, I think.
I don't know.
Little
I
bit.
am not satisfied.
Mm.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to use in my messy back. I am not the cleanest, tidiest stitcher.
It's
a lot better than it
you
used to
still
be.
what it is. Tell what it is, though.
But yeah.
That works. But yeah.
And
Fantastic.
she bought me this needle minder. It says, I myself am anxious and confused.
I bought it in Missouri. I was on vacation. I'm like, oh, I know someone who would like this.
That does describe me.
All right, what's our next one? Because we'll just go with your list.
That would be Scary Sampler in
perfect.
September. I was kind of shocked that we had gone that long without duplicating, but it wasn't that we hadn't. It was that we had stuff planned out.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, at that point, we knew we were going to be starting a whole bunch of stuff similar,
Yes.
but we just hadn't actually executed yet.
Mm-hmm. You can't really see mine. Here you go. It's on very dark fabric.
And we took very different approaches.
Very much.
I like to stitch from starting in the top corner.
And I started at the bottom left, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what we're working on. This is the Scary Sampler.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
By Carriage House Sampling.
No,
I'm sorry.
Heartstring
Samplery.
And I mean, she just is rocking them out of the park.
I
love her play on the typical sampler motifs, but spinning them for those of us who love pop culture. So
I love the nerd references. They're so great.
We both made market purchases.
Based on that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But mine is stitched on, what did I use?
Looks like Middle Earth.
Yeah. Middle Earth. Yeah.
And mine's stitched on Devil's Claw.
Mm-hmm. And I used 16 count.
And I'm at 18.
And I'm using DMC.
And I'm using mostly DMC. I added a couple greens. I have both from Stash. One's a silk and one's not. And I do not remember for the life of me who made them.
Oh, that reminds me.
You have a green.
I did add a green silk for the alien heads.
Yeah.
Because
those are awesome.
Those were supposed to be like a gray color that blended in. And I was like, oh no. Mm-hmm. I want you to see those aliens.
Yeah.
And the greens that I used in the demigorgons, is that what they are?
Yes.
Demigorgons. Those are sulky, because I had just discovered how wonderful sulky was, and I was like, I want to use it in lots of things, and was just going overboard.
Yeah.
I do that.
And my one green, I think it's called Dragon or Green Dragon or something. It was from the Adventures Collection box.
Yeah, we were definitely going through an experimental phase where we were like finding all the stuff and going, did you know about this box? Did you know?
And purchases were made.
We were messaging each other back and forth going like, did you hear about, I didn't know this was a thing. When did this become a thing in cross stitch?
Exactly.
When did you do this thing?
And we both have done cross stitch like way back when we were kids and stuff. None of this was available. Mm-hmm. And then got back into it. So
I would have been a more consistent cross stitcher, I was fairly consistent. I did some things because I did find some outside of the box things when I was more in my late teens and early 20s, but then I got busy having babies and raising babies, and then it was a thing. But and just lost track, and the whole thing exploded on me.
It's all right. We found our way back.
From there should be Halloween at Hawker & Hollow. So this is Carriage House sampling.
Yes. I knew we had one.
I'm sure what you were thinking of.
It was.
So this is what it's going to look like. We started on different blocks.
Yes, we did.
As we are wont to do.
Yep.
Now, we did use the same fabric because I was bound and determined I was not using the called for.
Yes.
And I did not like what I had originally picked. And then she picked this fabric and I went, oh, I like that so much better.
Yep. So this is Cypress from Fiber on a Whim. Mm-hmm. I have 18 count. What do you have? Same?
Yeah, 20.
20? Oh, no, I have 20 as well. I still have the thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I recommended 20.
Yeah. And I did 1/1 on this. And I think we both picked the same floss for the outline as well.
Because it's really cool.
Yeah. So my square is in the bottom left, and it has the 3 coffins in it. And I kind of went off a little bit. Kind of see, I gave my vampire pinstripe pants. So, yeah, I felt that he deserved pinstripe pants.
I mean, the thing is, I am not liking the called fors, so I have gone rogue.
Yep.
I am using, and I have to thank Carolyn at Thread Gremlins for that, because I was miserable going, this pattern is so pretty. Why do I hate this? Why do I hate it so much?
Colors aren't bright enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could tell down here I'm using called for, but then when I got to the haunted house and I could not bring myself to use the called for. I'm in shadow and I'm so sorry. But I'm on block 1. I changed the colors in the haunted house, and I'm so much happier. And so then that just told me it's just going to have to be brighter as I go, and I'm going to pick colors as I go, and
that's fine.
Yeah.
Make it your own.
I think I'm going to do like a tapestry finish for it since it's only going to be up seasonally.
That's a great idea. I love that.
But I got a long way to go.
Yes, we both
It's going to take years. I don't love it as much as I thought I would. Now, this is a case of us having different approaches.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Artsy Housewife lit.
Yep, you got a paper pattern and I am digital. Because I waited for her to release it digitally.
And I did not.
And I bought the Roxy Floss conversion.
And I'm using I bought the Pirate and Robin conversion, except for the Cardinal, which I used a PR number that I don't have on me right now. An Australian one. But I had to get the Cardinal done. You have a lot of the lights.
Yeah.
Nice.
I kind of liked it as a nice, through. It kind of made it easier to connect things.
Yeah.
I believe I used a 20 count. Maybe?
I know mine's 18.
Maybe mine... I don't think I intended to use... Well, maybe mine is 18.
It looks like it's the same size.
I think I intended to use 16, though.
Because mine's 18 Atomic Ranch Pistachio, which is the same color I used in Within a Dream.
My tag should be in here somewhere. I used a fabric from Roxy Floss Co.
Nice.
But did I write it down? That's the question. I usually save the little fabric tag.
Yeah.
And usually I stick it in the bag. I don't know if I did that this time. But I'm pretty sure that my intention was to use the 16. Oh, I remember now. Because when it came, I ordered 16. And then I was looking at it going, that don't look like 16.
Yeah, it looks closer to 18.
So I'm treating it like it's a 16, but it really is an 18. And it's so tight that I really could, in theory, do single strand. But I'm not gonna. I like puffy stitches anyway.
I just love this color. Avocado's the best. Or pistachio's the best. Greens.
I wanted blue because I wanted a blue, but not too dark of a blue. Giving the hint of a night sky, but not quite. It's dusk and we're getting ready to go on the ride. Ultimately, I think that one's going to go to my son because he likes some reindeer. He walks around in a goofy hat at his job during the winter that has reindeer antlers. And he has a reindeer onesie.
That's so perfect.
And he's 17. He has no shame about it whatsoever. His little sister, the year before he got that onesie, his little sister got a reindeer onesie. And he was like, how come she got one and I didn't?
Oh.
And I went, you want one? And he's like, yeah. I filed that in my memory bank. And the following Christmas, and I didn't buy her the onesie. Personally, I would have known to just buy them both one. My mother did it. And she just thought, why would a boy want a reindeer onesie? She doesn't, she knows he's a goofball.
Yeah.
But she's, 62. So she doesn't think about, gender role things. So I know my boy, and he don't care. He once jokingly referred to himself as a pretty princess. So
nice.
He doesn't care.
Good.
This is our
Stitch for Pride.
Stitch for Pride.
These 20 stitches.
That we started like January 2nd.
Yeah. And we're doing okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly keeping up. We got a little bit behind in March.
Yeah, which was mostly because, I mean, you were sick a lot.
Well, I was sick and got hit by a car. So
yeah, that's true.
Things happened.
Well, your car got hit by a car. You did not get hit by a car.
Well, no.
Thankfully.
Thankfully.
Because that would be tragic. That would be very tragic.
Yeah, that's happened to someone in my family before. It was not fun.
But yeah, and I think we even picked very similar colors.
We did. Although you're using Sulky, right?
I am using Sulky.
Yeah, and I'm using DMC and Night Stalker's Calling the Advent Calendar flosses. Mm-hmm. So the pink variegated on mine and the blue variegated are DMC.
What fabric did you use? Did you literally use the same fabric that I did?
I don't know. I did Spooky by BeStitchMe.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not.
Oh, okay, they're really similar though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 20 count Spooky by BeStitchMe. I thought it was perfect.
Mine is a 20 count, but I have to look. I think
I
wrote it down. Oh, mine is Night Sky by Fiber on a Whim.
Nice. Very similar.
It's in a mermaid bag.
I love it.
Because I thought the colors went well with the trans pride.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
I do think it's kind of funny that we have made very similar color choices. Although we're deviating on the March one.
Yep.
I am also doing pink for the dragon, but I did blue for the sword. Mm-hmm. And I worked in my third color in the sun and the display up here.
And I'm going to put the blue up here.
April, I think the April one is a Native American, and that Native American is Two-Spirit rather than trans. So what I'm leaning towards is that I'm going to make the most dominant color my third rainbow color, my pastel rainbow color.
That's perfect.
Silence my phone. And then I'm just going to use the blue and the pink as accents.
Mm-hmm. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for it yet. I might even pull in a whole nother color. Seriously considering doing the sun in March as yellow variegated. So we'll see what I end up doing.
I'm going to try and be faithful to my three colors and not deviate from my three colors.
Oh, I've already deviated for mine, so. Because I have the flowers. I have the flowers with Ellie Bias. I guess she always threw flowers.
Elagabalus.
I've heard multiple ways.
Yeah, but the way you're saying it is leaving out the G.
Yeah. I heard someone who really studies in Roman history, and that's how he said her name. So, I don't know what's right or wrong.
The last time you saw us together was in January.
Yeah, you show how good yours is, and then I'll show mine, and we can have a good laugh at it. Oh, wait, I have the picture. Ragnarok, Long Dog Sampler. Didn't you finish a page?
Yep, I've started page 2 now. I have totally finished page 1. The only thing that's missing on page 1 is the squirrel's tail, and I'm going to wait to do that until I get down here and get to the squirrel.
Yeah, so I haven't stitched on this since we got together in January. I know.
Girlfriend, I'm on pace to finish. I mean...
Okay, April is my makeup catch-up month for a reason. And this is one of them. What? Yeah, I know. But I was stitching a train for months.
Wow.
And it's done. It's now done.
I mean...
So next time I'll have more progress on this.
I've just been doing 100 stitches a day.
Yeah.
The only time I did not work on this was the entire month of March. I did not touch it.
True, because that was your artsy birthday.
We started on, what was it, January 20th?
Yeah.
And for the inauguration.
And that's what I did.
And from January 20th on, I've stitched on this faithfully for 100 stitches a day until the end of February. And when I finished page 1, I full stopped. Because I knew my plan for March was that I was only stitching Artsy Housewife.
Yep.
For the entire month of March. So, I was not going to touch this again until April, and now it's April.
Yeah.
And I have gotten back into it. And, like, I added all of, like, I have extended the page. And I like to block things out. So I outlined the sky, and then I can do the fill-in. And then once I've done that for page 2, then I'll start working. I'll pick one leaf, and I'll outline a leaf, and I'll fill in the leaf. And then I'll just, until I've done all the leaves on the page. I realized today that I'm going to have to figure out what color I'm going to make the ravens. I didn't think about that.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Because I don't want this to have too many colors. I have a green and blue color scheme mostly with red for the red herrings. But I'm going to have to make the, like, other elements different colors. And I'm like, did I decide what I was doing about that? I don't think I did.
I know I wrote all of my decisions down because I knew I'd forget if I didn't.
I kind of just bought a color palette.
Yeah.
And went, we're just going to work with that. And then I thought about certain things like the color of the boat and the color of... I was so obsessed with the red herrings and getting the right red for the red herrings.
Yeah.
Which is probably mostly going to be different reds for all of them.
My favorite bag.
It's a pretty excellent bag.
My favorite one. Love it.
And
like
then we both started. I'm going to have to look this one up on my iPad for us.
Is this Hyperbole? Or is this...
Yes.
Okay. You're going to laugh on this one too.
We disagree on how to say that. Because I look at how it's spelled and I keep wanting to say hyperbole. I know that's not correct. I do know that. But
everyone has a word like that. For me, it's salmon. Because I look at them like, oh, it's salmon. It's not. I was corrected.
And I think if I were using hyperbole in a sentence, I would have no trouble saying it right. It's just that I'm not using it in a sentence. It's a title of something. So I want to say it the way it's spelled. But that's what it's going to be.
It's so beautiful. I love it. It's very dense.
Yes. And I'm going to make some modifications to mine. But, sorry, I got to reach.
It's okay.
So far, I've only started the top border.
I have 100 stitches.
I did get all of the red all the way across the top.
That's so nice. That's 100 stitches per 1,300 stitches. I checked. I remember that from January, actually. So yeah, this is mine. I have it on C glass, 18 count Ada.
I am using a 16 count Ada. Mine is called Morning Glory.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, pretty sure that's right.
I love it.
By Fibers on a Whim. I love it. I wanted a warm color. When I saw all that red in the color palette, I was like, okay, so I do kind of get why she did that, like, khaki green color, but I didn't like it. And I wanted to see it stitched on a warm sky.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the sky can be pink in the morning.
Oh, yeah. And at night. Sunsets.
Oh, yeah.
So, for sure.
Yeah, I like this. So far, I'm using DMC. However, I bought the Roxy Floss conversion, which will be here anytime now. So I'm kind of slow walking my start on this one because I am mostly going to use the Roxy Floss Co. I am just on like borders like this where you're not really going to see the variegation. It's like, I'll just use the DMC. That's fine. So some elements I'm going to consistently do in the DMC and some elements I'm going to do in the Roxy Floss. And it'll just be a hybrid of that. But I did buy the floss pack. I've got some significant changes, though, overall that I'm going to make.
Very cool.
Down the one side, I want to say, should be down this side. It's supposed to just be like an alphabet. I counted it out, the number of letters that it's slotted for, because it's like part of the alphabet and then the rest is underneath. I counted it out, and the number of letters going down is the exact number of letters to spell hyperbole.
It's very cool.
So I'm going to just spell it right there. And then where the alphabet is in the bottom, I'm going to pick a very short quote and stitch a quote there instead.
That works.
I'm going to try and pick a quote that is a hyperbole.
Nice.
So
awesome. See, for me, I picked this color just because it reminds me of a garden. Just, green. Like, well, there's a big garden on that pattern, so I'm like, why not? As for the alphabets and stuff, I'm not sure. I might actually stitch them because I don't know if I've actually stitched an alphabet before. Just to see.
I just don't see the point in stitching the alphabet over and over and over and over again on all these samplers. I don't understand. I would rather see quotes all over my wall. I have stitched an alphabet. That's the only one I ever want to do.
Not all that. This may be the only one I ever do.
Then we get to the birthday sals.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a birthday sal. It just wasn't for us.
Right. That was Gigi.
For Gigi, the artsy housewife, who, if you haven't figured out, is my favorite designer.
We have Heart Sampler.
Oh, it's like way washed out on the screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope, there you go.
This is what we got.
It's Heart Sampler by Bad Vibes Only. And I just love the anatomical heart in the middle. And all of like the rib cage and the sword and everything. It's beautiful. So we both took very different routes on this. And I would have gotten more done, but again, February was not a good month for me this year.
You poor dear, it was rough.
It was very rough. But I did get this much. So the original pattern calls for the red flosses on like a pink background. And I decided, well, what if I do a pink background with blue floss? So these are all, this is a BeStitchMe silk, which I'm very happy. And then Cass did the opposite.
I'm using all the called for DMCs, but I am stitching it on blue fabric.
Yeah.
And my blue fabric is Smooth Sailing by Roxy Floss Co. Because I was using it for another pattern and was like, oh my God, it is literally perfect. It is what I had been envisioning because your blood is blue until it touches oxygen. So I was like, with the big anatomical heart, which I love. I'm so looking forward to stitching that anatomical heart.
Me too.
The rib cage and the anatomical heart were like the two things that sold me on this pattern.
Yes.
I was like, I have got to stitch this.
I love them so much. And I forget the name of this. This might be Nekomata, if I'm not mistaken, by Black Dahlia Fabrics. So I believe I have it right. If I don't, I'll put a thing up.
I could not put it down until I hit that rib cage. So
yeah, that's gonna be my next goal on that. I love that rib cage.
It's quite excellent.
Yes.
And if you're keeping track, that is 9.
It is 9.
So we're ending on my birthday sal.
Yeah.
The Feathered Friends birthday sal. And now the sad part is I finished.
Yeah.
You got this.
And I have not. But I got the outline of the bird. That's over 800 stitches right there. I love the owl. And then mine's on sandbar, I believe.
And mine is on cold foam.
No, this isn't sandbar. This is boneyard.
Because, I mean...
Cold foam coffee. It makes sense.
She's in a coffee mug. Opal is sitting in a coffee mug.
Yes, and I love Opal.
I have named her Opal. You can name yours whatever you want. Mine,
for sure.
Mine is Opal.
Opal's a wonderful name.
Yep. She was fun.
I did enjoy when I was stitching.
Oh my God. And then I had like a little hanger on. But yeah. She's usually, I'm pretty prompt about FFOing my finishes.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I have not is because I didn't just do one. I am doing all 4 of the birds and cups.
Yes.
I have finished 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I started with You've Got This because it had the least amount of stitches. And then I did the Peace Dove Cup of Peace because it had the most stitches. And now I am doing the other 2. And I am over 50% on the other 2.
Yay!
I will show those shortly. After Babs has gone home for the day.
Yeah. And I do have all those patterns too, so at some point I will be stitching those as well.
Mm-hmm. And by the time she gets to them, I will already be done with them.
Exactly.
So, because I plan on finishing both of them in April.
Perfect. Nice.
So they'll probably never make our
quarterly thing. But that's okay.
Because they'll be on my wall by then.
Absolutely.
But I'm not framing them until all of them are done, because then I'm going to get the same frame for all of them.
Oh, that'll be so nice.
Which,
yes,
I'm kind of basing the measurement, because I want them all to be the same size, but they're all not the same size.
Mm.
The Peace Dove is the largest.
Yeah.
Highest stitch count. So I'm basing the frame size off of the Peace Dove, and then they're just all going to get the same frame size.
It makes sense.
It's fine. Mm-hmm. So I think right now it's going to be a 7-inch circle is what it's looking like.
Awesome. Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's what we got.
So that's our group portion.
Mm-hmm.
But stick around.
Because there's more.
There is more. And welcome back to the individual portion right here. And I am so excited you all decided to stay. For sure. But it's been a couple days since Cass and I have last recorded. And I've had some time to do some stitching. And I am so excited because I finished the March Stitch for Pride 2025. Right here we have the full dragon of Shujin right here, along with the sword and the sun and the little flourish right here, which I don't know, clouds? I don't know. But I love her so much. I think she's so beautiful. She does tie in really nice with Elabias right here, and as well as the flowers. Yeah, I got the pink. Not a pink, very pink forward so far. So I can cross the March Stitch for Pride 2025 off my list. Yay! Now I still have to do April, but I need to figure out the colors for April and the placement. I'm going to guess it's going to go right here since it's also long and skinny. It's a broom. But we'll see. We'll see. I will spend more time on the next Floss Tube episode talking about April. But in the meantime, March is a finish for now, so yay! Here it is up close. Ah, so beautiful. I love her so much. I especially loved like the little, I don't know, hairs, feathers, whatever you want to call them, is brighter white. And I did this, well, it's a variegated floss, and what I did is I started at the tail, and of course went here, cut the thread, went up here, did the same thing, cut the thread, did this little bit, cut the thread, and then came over, down, and around. And right about here is where I ran out of floss. So, and my next floss, which would be my next set of 6 strands, was slightly lighter. So I'm like, well, this is super light. So I did the claw on the arm, came underneath here, got the little darker, came up here, did the bottom jaw, and then that's where I ran out. I'm like, well, I'm going to start up here then. So I did that all bright and, on the lighter end, and then finished up her top part of her eyes, head, and horns. And I think it turned out super well. I love how the brightness is towards the face, which would make sense since, sun. But I kind of see this as Shujin is fighting, using the best weapon she can, in which case for her, the sword represents her education and the fact that she had taught so many individuals and especially women that, hey, we could do better. And wrote so many pamphlets and poems about overthrowing that particular dynasty. And I guess the sun here is just kind of representing to me the women being repressed underneath the traditions of the past. And so, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, she was martyred for a cause, but she did a lot of great work out in China. So I'm very happy to have her on this wonderful, wonderful conglomerate amalgamation of strong individuals. So I will put this away for a night or two, and then I'll probably bring it back out to do the April Stitch for Pride 2025, because I do want to get that one done preferably by mid-month, because then I can put this away for the rest of the month, and then when May comes out, then I'll do it for May. But yeah, I'm so excited. One last look. So beautiful. I love it. Oh, yes. And this is stitched on 20 count spooky by BeStitchMe. I think I already said that in the other portion, but here you go again, just in case. Just in case. So I'll put you away. And then the other fun thing was I finished one of my March WIP goes. And the March WIP go I had was to work on A Year in the Woods, like any of the past ones, which, you know, that could be January or February, because this was a March WIP go. And so I chose the fox. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I love this fox. It's so pretty. And also, even if I figured if I'm only going to get one done this year, may as well be January, because then I can, you know, display January in January. So this is number 1. And my goal is to do another 500 stitches, which I have finished the last 200 that I needed from the last time you saw this, which I focused on this part on the tail where it looks like a plant or something. I love the detail. Absolutely gorgeous. And then also this part of the leg as well. So a lot of the whitish color. And I think that this box is turning out really well, as you're starting to see where, yeah, it's a fox. It's just not filled in yet. And that's okay. So this was stitched on 18 count winter mix, also by BeStitchMe. I love this. I will go ahead and take this out of the frame and put it away for a little while. I may bring it back out if I have time at the end of the month, because April is my month of catch up. I need to catch up, and that includes stuff like this. But I also need to catch up on some other things, so we will just have to see how it goes, for sure. And then also, there is a, oh, I never did March end stats. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we should do the end of March stats. So end of March stats are, I had 3 new starts. I had 2 finished objects, which was exciting. I loved it. I stitched for 22 days out of the month, and I had 7,608 stitches, and about 5,200 of those stitches was the major full coverage project gift that I have finished. I still need to FFO it. It's not quite there yet, but once I do that, I will absolutely share with you what it looks like in its frame. I've just never done a round frame before, and so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to leave it an open back or keep it a closed back and, you know, do some stitch work on it. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and then also this month is one of the YouTube channels that I follow. It's a wonderful person. It's actually a dually, but Rolanda from Rose Crafty Corner, it's her birthday this month. And from what it sounds like, the very end of the month. And so she has a theme for her birthday stitch along, and that is to try something new. And if there's a hashtag, I'll go ahead and put it in the description. But yeah, to try something new, and whether that be work on linen or try a different colorway or, whatever, frame with something different. I'm going to be doing a lot of new things this month, but specifically for her birthday Sal, I am going to try Mill Hill kits for the first time. So these I have received. Also, these are very fitting for the season. I have received these, I think, in the early aughts from one of my friends, probably for my birthday, since my birthday was 2 months ago, and I've never done them. They're super cute. They're not too big, and they're all beads. All beads. You can see the inside of this one right here. You see all the beautiful beads. You got the white floss. There's a needle in there. What else is in there? Of course, the pattern. And it looks like they're pins. So when I'm done, I could affix the pin to it and wear it if I really wanted to. Or put it on something. So we have this beautiful goose right here. And then we have this umbrella because April showers bring May flowers. I think they're so cute. So yeah, these are, it's under the title of Spring Bouquet 2, Counted Glass Bead Ornament Kit. And this one is umbrella. And this one is a Spring Goose. And I don't know if they have the year on. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. No, these are so much earlier than early aughts. So much earlier. 1993 is when they're copyrighted. 1993. But no, I don't think I got them that much earlier because I would have been 10 and I didn't. I didn't cross stitch a whole lot then. I was just learning. So yeah, I still believe early aughts or late 90s that I got these. It wouldn't surprise me if I got them when I still lived in Minnesota. So yeah, I'm so excited to try these out. Because they're smaller, I'm hoping that they won't take, too long per. Oh, and if you see the umbrella here, you got little hearts in it. I think it's so cute. And then, of course, the goose has this beautiful, like, flower wreath right around her neck. Oh, she's so pretty. I love it. I love them. So this is going to be my something new for sure. And that's actually all that I have for you right now. If y'all made it this far, thank you so very much. Why don't you go ahead and put like a little... let's see, for a goose, like a little spring flower emoji in the comments, just so I know that you've made it here this long and watched it. That would be absolutely amazing. Remember, my cottage is always open, and have just wonderful stitchy days ahead. Bye-bye.